David, hasn't this been quite a journey? Remember back what you and I would have done in those early years to have someone to bounce ideas off of, right?
It'd been great, back in the 60s and 70s, 80s, to find someone that was even thinking about doing what we were doing.
Ray, I remember back in 2007, here I was putting on hosting a tour for NRCS employees, and there was this guy standing there with his head cocked, kind of looking funny. What in the world is this guy doing?
The funny part, I can't get rid of it, but I remember that day. I tell you, I'll never forget when I saw that soil. I was reading Alan Savory's book at the same time, and when I came to your place, I think it was a gift of providence that I was there at the right time, at the right place. Because, see, I had been praying for a long time that I knew something was wrong, and I couldn't put my finger at it. And I kind of think this is what it kind of led to my why, and I think a lot of us here why we do what we do. Me personally, I knew this was my calling, that God had actually created me for this, to bring healing on the planet, to be used, to be able to teach a message that we can actually bring kingdom reality to the healing of the earth.
And what it led to, Ray, then we developed a friendship, and years later you had me come down and do a series of workshops through Kentucky. And I'll never forget, you told me one day, Gabe, you're going to get a surprise visitor that evening. David, you want to tell that story?
Well, I'd read a lot of articles in the magazines about Gabe and what he was doing, and I didn't know him from Adam, but I thought, man, if this guy has got all this put together in North Dakota where it's 40 below zero with cattle, and I says, I told my wife, I says, I got to go down and hug him and tell him thanks, And
I'll never forget, you walked through the door and you said, come here, give me a hug.
Yeah, I guess that's what started it.
Yeah.
And the greatest thrill is a mentorship from that.
Right.
The challenges me to do a better job.
Yeah. You want to talk about that first time I came to your place?
I was, we'd been doing cover crops and lots of things, and by a single species and went to dual species, and I was showing Gabe a field, and it wasn't the best stand of stuff, and I was really proud of what was going on, and then he just blowed my bubble, and he said, well, why didn't you try more species, David? It might have worked.
Actually, I kind of started walking away slowly because I knew what was happening, because it was kind of building up.
I mean, everything was going great, I thought, till Ray came, or Gabe, and I thought, wow, this is just, so that was the challenge, and from then on, it's just been more than more fun. I mean, it's just how much can I do, and how many times can I do it better?
Yeah.
It's probably the only time I've ever seen you speechless. I knew that was coming, and then after that event, then we were very blessed to bring Alan, because Alan had so much to give, but he also had to say why.
And I remember, Alan, the first time I attended a grass-fed exchange conference and heard you speak, and I'm like, wow, here's a guy doing it with grazing. And then you happened to come up to North Dakota, and we brought the grass-fed exchange conference up there, and that's how we developed this friendship.
Yeah, it's, again, I agree with Ray. I think this is all providence, the four of us, because we're greatly diverse in where we're from, how we grew up, everything else. It was absolutely no coincidence that all four of us met and came together. And I come from a background, I was in academia, for 15 years, a tenured professor and doing a lot of research. And I finally came to the realization that all we were doing, I now call it just putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. And that's all we were doing. So we were spending all of our time doing research that was treating symptoms rather than getting at the root cause. Yeah. And when I met y'all, it just helped everything to really come together for me and created, a whole series of aha moments.
Only God would have done that. Brought four of us together.
Yes.
And it proves God has a sense of humor to bring all four of us together.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.